In this example, I want to figure out the person's GPA. Okay, given the score of 93, or I should say 100 to below 60, we should be able to figure out the letter grade and the points. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a separate module, a separate file. Let's call it GPA.js. And I'm going to create a JSON object. I'm going to call it, I'll say const. And this will be the rules. And it will be an array. That array is going to contain all these rules here. So for example, let me grab this for a second. I will say here, I'll paste it, and I'll say here, start is 93, end is 100, comma, don't forget the comma, comma, and I forgot what the other one's called. Grade here, colon. Remember, this is a string, so let's make that an A. And then we'll say here, score is equal to 4.0. Okay, so let's see, that looks like it's a valid JSON object. Let's set up a couple of rows to represent all the letters. I'll do Control C here. Do Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Oh, don't forget the commas to separate them so you don't get an error. Okay, and just to make sure I have all of them, there is an A minus. Then there is a B plus, then a B, B minus, C plus. Let me copy a couple of more lines here. Let's see what the rest of the grades are. Then C, D, and F. C, D, and F. Let's save that. In the background, I'm going to change these to the right numbers. I just want to make sure I had enough entries for all of them. So in the background, I will change them. So I'll stop the video for a few seconds, and then I will change the grades accordingly based on the rules. Okay, so what I want to do here is, using the array, what are we going to do is we're going to use the, the find method. So every array has a find method. And the description of this find method is that it returns the value of the first element in the provided array that satisfies the provided test condition. So let's test that out. I'll say here const again for status. I will then do the rules, and we'll do a find. And remember, find is going to go after the first one that meets that condition. So in this example here, they're using an anonymous function, but they're writing it the long way. We're going to do the standard way that we've been doing in class. This also takes in a predicate, basically it takes in an argument and it returns a Boolean. So we're going to write E, and remember E represents this first row right here of the array, represents that. I'll then use the arrow function. And since this is only going to be a one-liner, I don't have to write the curly brackets. I'm going to test it with the number 45 and say where 45 is greater or equal to e.start. So what I'm hoping it will do is when it iterates through this, it will find the first one that 45 is greater or equal to. So it'll get here, this will fail, this will fail, finally get to here, and this should pass the test. Let's save it. Let's do a console log status. Save that. And let me see here. This is an old terminal that I had. I'm going to kill that terminal. I'm going to kill this terminal too that I was playing around with. I still have the server up, so let me break that for a second. And remember, this is the GPA module that I'm testing by itself. So let's type in here node GPA, hit enter, and it looks like that passed the test because this is a failing grade. Let's do one with a C average. The C average based on this should be anything between 75 and 76. So we're going to say here 75.01 just to make a point. That should average out to the letter C. Let's go here and type in node, and there it goes. So this looked like this technique is working. So in class we did a series of if statements, but I think this works really well. And let's go with that approach. In the next video we'll continue this to make this part of the web service that we created. With that, good luck and good